What's up, everybody? It's Jordan, and welcome to the Sports Behind Show. In this video, I will be doing a Round 1 NFL mock draft with trades. Today is Monday, so it is Mock Draft Monday. Each Monday, I try my best to do a full-round mock draft. Wasn't able to do one last week. I ended up doing it the day after Tuesday. But, last week I had a huge trade. The 49ers trading up with the Bengals and San Francisco getting Zach Wilson. There's a huge trade in the top 10 in this draft. So hope you all like this mock draft. So we'll go ahead and get started here. This is from PFF. I know I normally do them from Pro Football Network, but Pro Football Network's been acting up some reason. Also, live on YouTube right now, like always, every video I do. So, live on here, make sure to comment, some of your favorite draft prospects, in the draft. It's coming in a couple months now. It seems crazy that it's, getting here so quickly. So we'll go ahead and get started here. Number 1, Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars. Not much explanation for that. 2 is interesting. I know some people like Justin Fields more than Zach Wilson, and I know some people think Justin Fields is the second best quarterback in the draft. I don't have him as the top 2 quarterback prospects, and I like Zach Wilson a lot more than Justin Fields. Zach Wilson is my favorite quarterback in the draft, and it's not even close. I think I know I've said it in multiple episodes. I really believe Zach Wilson going to the Jets and Justin Fields going to the Falcons would be better off for both teams there. I think Wilson is more pro-ready. I really benefit Justin Fields if he can sit behind, potential Hall of Famer Matt Ryan a little bit, and then take over once Matt Ryan retires. So we'll take that Wilson number 2 here with the Jets. Number 3 with Miami. I know I've had Devontae Smith, but my last mock draft I had Jamar Chase. Jamar Chase on film. I prefer Chase. I think he's better. I do think Devontae Smith will be really good. Devontae Smith does not go to the offense. That's where it could get interesting because he could possibly, go outside the top 10. I'm going to have Chase here. But, he's going up boards. Obviously, he's going to be a top 10 pick. His draft stock is just increasing, it seems like, by the day. Like I said, number 4, the Falcons. I really like Justin Fields to the Falcons. I think that makes so much sense. I think it'll be an amazing pick. So I'm going to take Justin Fields, number 4, to the Falcons. The Bengals, the 5th pick, Penei Sewell is available, so that means the Bengals will take Penei Sewell. And the Eagles are the 6th pick here. Like I said, we are live on YouTube, so make sure to comment some of your draft prospects. The Eagles need to take a wide receiver, whether right here this is Devontae Smith, Jalen Waddle, or I think it could even potentially be Kyle Pitts. Zach Ertz is going to get traded or released more than likely. And Dallas Gilbert has just 1 year on his contract left. And Pitts, to me, Kyle Pitts is a top 5 draft prospect, but at the same time, he can go anywhere, I think, within the top 15. He's going to go in the top 15, 100%. But it's just a matter of where. Because, let's say the Eagles don't take him. Maybe what if he slides a little top 10? That's where he may be interesting with Pitts. But like I said, Philadelphia needs some wide receivers. Someone had them taking Jalen Waddle, the wide receiver from Alabama. This is where the big trade happens. Number 7 with Detroit Lions. I have them, let's see here, trading back with the Pittsburgh Steelers. I absolutely love this trade. Personally, being a Bengal fan, and pretty much every single person who has seen one of my videos knows I'm a huge Bengal fan. I would hate for if Pittsburgh did this. But this, to me, would just be so smart to do. I'm going to force this trade, even though every team, it still at times does not, let you trade. So the Steelers will be giving the Detroit Lions their 1st-round pick this year, their 2nd-round pick this year, and also their 1st-round pick next year and their 2nd-round pick next year. And, with number 7, the Steelers need a quarterback. It was not even for sure as of a little over a week ago, Ben Roethlisberger was going to continue playing football for the Pittsburgh Steelers. But with them trading up, they're obviously going to get a quarterback. And to me, this is just phenomenal. I have Lance here. I think that's a absolutely great pick. Trey Lance is a really intriguing prospect. He reminds me a little bit of Carson Wentz, but he also reminds me a lot of Deshaun Watson as well. And I feel like Trey Lance would have played at a higher school. He would be drafted at least in the top 5, 100%. But, he played at North Dakota State, much smaller competition. That's why, some people might not have him as high the boards as like Zach Wilson or Trevor Lawrence, one of those quarterbacks. So number 8 here, I really like Micah Parsons to the Carolina Panthers, be the replacement to Luke Kuechly. The Carolina Panthers are not afraid of drafting defensive players. For instance, every single one of the Carolina Panthers picks last season was a defensive player. This is the first time in NFL history that's ever happened before. But I think Parsons would be good there. But Parsons, to me, he should not be drafted. Go look at some of the stuff he's done. Nobody's talking about it at all. I do not understand it at all. Willie Gay Jr., the linebacker prospect last season at Mississippi State, dropped to towards the end, I believe, the second round to the Kansas City Chiefs because he punched a teammate in practice and he cheated on the test. And he was accused of character issues. Obviously, neither one of those things are good, but if you compare that to Micah Parsons, I don't understand how Micah Parsons is not being talked about as undraftable to me. If you look some of that stuff up, it's just really bad. But with number 9, Denver Broncos, they released AJ Bouye. They don't have Chris Harris anymore. Pretty obvious they go corner. I've had them take a corner, I think, every single mock draft. Don't have them take Caleb Farley from Virginia Tech. I think that's a really nice pick. I know we did not play this past season, and it could be Farley or Patrick Surtain. Either one of those guys, I think would be great. And whoever by the Broncos, the person believe will get picked by the Dallas Cowboys in number 10. I think 9 and 10 will both be corners. I think that makes a lot of sense. The Cowboys lost Byron Jones this past season in NC to the Miami Dolphins. And with the first 5 or 6 games of the season, Dallas Cowboys secondary was on pace to be one of the worst in NFL history. But so number 11 here, Devontae Smith and Kyle Pitts are still available. This is I know they have Evan Ingram, the Giants do, but he only has 1 year on his contract left. But they really need that wide receiver because they just recently released Golden Tate. So I'm going to have them take Devontae Smith, but either one of those players to me would be great picks, A+ picks by the New York Giants because realistically, neither one of those players should really be there at number 11. So number 12, I know Surtain and Caleb Farley are both gone. Maybe the 49ers would trade back in a scenario. I don't have them trading here, but maybe they could trade back and get J.C. Horn if they were really a corner because it's unlikely that Richard Sherman will return to San Francisco next season. So they could really use a tackle, protect Garoppolo, whoever the quarterback's going to be. But so I want to have them taking Rashawn Slater here. Slater, one of the best offensive tackle prospects in the draft. It's crazy because some draft analysts in the NFL Network and stuff like that, they actually have Slater picked before Penei Sewell in some mock drafts. I know Jared has Slater picked before Sewell. I know some other people, I remember their names, but it's really crazy like how media and draft analysts view these players differently. And this says team needs here. The Los Angeles Chargers need a defensive line. I mean they could use some. It's going to be really beneficial to them. But at the same time, they really need an offensive lineman too. So I want to take Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle from Virginia Tech, at the 13th pick overall. I believe it was 65. No Los Angeles Chargers offensive lineman had a PFF grade over 65 this past season. They need to protect Justin Herbert or either like Joe Burrow did this past season. Number 14 here. This is intriguing because I think the Vikings do offensive line. I've had them take Elijah Tucker and Barmore. I don't know if this is considered the reach because some people may not even have Pay as their top 3 edge rushers because the edge rusher class is just it's so different. People have them so different on their big boards because there's so many great ones. I'm going to have them take Kwity Paye here at 14. And I think that's a pretty good pick. They can also take Kyle Pitts too. I mean, that's also someone to look at, especially because they just got Kyle Rudolph. Kyle Pitts is still available at 15. He should not be here. But it's just really interesting because the teams who I did not have taken Kyle Pitts, they don't necessarily desperately need a tight end. And I know Kyle Pitts is going to line up a wide receiver quite a bit because he's so athletic and he's going to be one of the best tight ends in the NFL. Kyle Pitts is here at 15 with the Patriots. That's a no-brainer to me. Like, that's going to be amazing. It could literally be Cam Newton. It could be Jimmy Garoppolo. It doesn't matter. If Kyle Pitts is on the Patriots, you just believe he's going to have an insanely good season. So 16 is the Arizona Cardinals. And something I don't think about PFF and also Pro Football Network is that their ratings of some players just does not make any sense. I know Dwayne Eskridge, the wide receiver from Western Michigan, he's projected to be like a second-round pick, maybe early third. And he's around 181. I just don't get that at all. So I'll go down the board quite a bit here at 24. I'm going to have the Arizona Cardinals take J.C. Horn. I think it's a great pick because, they just recently released Patrick Peterson. They can release some corner help edge rushers. Their edge rushers are amazing. You got Chandler Jones and J.J. Watt. When healthy, that is just absolutely phenomenal. So 17. The Las Vegas Raiders. I want to have them take Azeez Ojulari, the edge rusher from Georgia University. He's one of my favorite edge rushers in the class. I also like Patrick Jones. I know it's a little bit too early to draft first round, especially because, like I said, PFF's ratings are all messed up. I actually have Patrick Jones in, I believe, 138 or something like that. Just way too low for Patrick Jones. And also, players who are rated way too low. It's going to be my 18th pick overall, and that is going to the Dolphins. It's going to be running back Najee Harris. Let's see here. He's rated really low, and it's really strange because on PFF they actually have Javonte Williams, the running back of North Carolina, higher than Najee Harris, and it's just kind of crazy to me. I don't get it at all. So we'll go to running backs here. Yeah, Javonte Williams is 58, while Najee Harris is 6'7". That doesn't make sense. So I want to take Najee Harris at 18 to the Miami Dolphins. I think that makes lots of sense. Already played with Tua at Alabama. They really need a running back because just think about it. Prior to this past season, Ryan Fitzpatrick was their leading rusher, and he's about a 40-year-old guy who has a big beard, like a dad bod basically, and he's the leading rusher. That's pretty. I would say pathetic. I mean, there's no other word to describe it. They could really use a nice running back. If it's ETN, Najee Harris, even if they take Javonte Williams in the second round, they could desperately use a running back at some point in the draft. So 19th overall, Washington football team. I love this pick. Matt Jones. Matt Jones, to me, he's really intriguing because he does everything so well. But to me, I think he's already reached his potential. And it's going to be really interesting to see how he plays wherever he goes because I think he can be really good. Compared to the other quarterbacks like Trey Lance, Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields, all those quarterbacks have, more potential to prove. I just feel like Matt Jones is kind of a finished product, kind of similar to how Daniel Jones was when he came out. I'm not saying that would be a pro comparison, but coming out of the draft, as a player who's probably not going to get better, he's going to stay the same. I think that would be a comparison to that standpoint. So it would be really interesting. I would really like that pick, Matt Jones, to the Washington football team. Maybe they sign Cam Newton. I think that's a possibility. Him reunite with Ron Rivera. Newton could start some, and then Matt Jones could start over. Maybe sit a year or something like that. That'd be interesting. So pick number 20, the Bears for the clock, and then the wide receiver desperately, John Bateman. To me, that's an amazing pick. I think when it's all said and done, as we look back a couple of years from now, I think Bateman may be one of the best receivers of this draft class. I think he's getting overlooked by guys like Devontae Smith and Jamar Chase. Bateman, to me, is absolutely phenomenal. And when it's all said and done, draft day or draft week, I wouldn't be surprised if Bateman slides into the top 15. Maybe to the Patriots, something like that. But it'd be really interesting to see where Rashad Bateman goes. 21st overall is the Indianapolis Colts. And this player, I think, is a boom or bust. Gregory Rousseau, the edge from Miami. I'm going to take him here. I know maybe a little bit early, and it's crazy to think because 2 months ago, people would say, like, how is he still available? That's just absolutely crazy. 2 or 3 months ago, he was like a top 10 pick. I've seen mock drafts, he slid down to the first round. But I think that would be not a bad pick. It just kind of also depends, like, how these teams view edge rushers. I know I already said it, but it's like there's so many good ones. Like, it's crazy because, most people may think, let's say Kwity Paye's the best edge rusher, but there might be one team who have him as like the fourth or fifth best edge rusher. So it'll be really, really interesting. 22 is the Tennessee Titans, and they can also use an edge rusher. And I'm also going to take another guy from Miami here, Jalen Phillips. Gregory Rousseau hit out this past season, with the coronavirus and everything. And that's when Jalen Phillips, with Gregory Rousseau out, Jalen Phillips took his opportunity and made the best of it. And he could potentially be drafted higher than Gregory Rousseau. That's just really crazy because nobody really thought that was going to happen. Going into this college football season. 23 were Jets. They didn't need a running back. I know they have some Mighty P Ryan, but I also know that running back's the easiest position to replace. Travis Etienne, to me, that's a phenomenal pick. And the Lions, like I said, if you're just tuning in, the Lions traded with the Steelers in a huge trade. It's an amazing trade, in my opinion. The Steelers traded their first and second round picks this year and next year. They traded the 7 with the Detroit Lions. 7 with the Detroit Lions, and they selected North Dakota State quarterback Trey Lance. And the Lions are not afraid to trade back and trade for more draft capital because, you look at what they did. Trading Matt Stafford, they got multiple top picks for it. And, Marvin Jones and Kenny are both free agents, and it's really unlikely either one of those guys re-signs with Detroit. And to me, you still have an opportunity to get a top wide receiver here. Rondale Moore, I want to take him. That's a fantastic pick. I know his draft grades are really interesting because I've seen some around the 24, 25 range, but I've also seen him around late 30s. So it'd be really interesting with Rondale Moore. But I personally love that pick there at 24 because you can get your wide receiver of the future. You also get you would have, I believe, 3 first-round picks and 3 second-round picks next year. Like that would just be phenomenal if you're Detroit Lions because, that's the way to do it right there if you're Detroit. 25, Christian Barmore still available. And he's another one of those players you just don't know where he's going to go. Personally, if he's at 25, I don't see him going past 25. I really feel like the Jacksonville Jaguars would take Christian Barmore if he's available, and he is, so I'm going to take him here. He can be there, in Doc Way replacement. And the Jacksonville Jaguars defensive line coached Barmore at Alabama, so that's something also to look at. Look at the Browns needs linebacker. Mac Wilson, he's been alright, but he's not really been exactly what Cleveland expected him to be. So Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah, him still being available, I'm going to have Cleveland take him there at 26. I think that's a great pick because he probably shouldn't be there. And it's a team need. Anytime you take team need and best player available, that's automatically best case scenario for your team. So 27 is the Baltimore Ravens. Lots of people want the Ravens to take a wide receiver. They have Marquise Brown. I think he's really underrated. If he was with more than likely just about any other offense, I think he could be really, really good. Since the Ravens are not a super pass team, personally, to me, this is a fantastic pick at 27. They take another receiver, really speedster receiver, Kadarius Toney. You add him with Marquise Brown. If you get Lamar Jackson throwing some, just in a simple, slant route, but those guys could be, scoring a huge touchdown there. I think that's a great pick. And Toney's another one of those players, you just don't know. I wouldn't be shocked if, I'll be close to the draft day, if Toney has a really, really, impressive 40-year dash, if he goes inside the top 20 or top 15. I even have a mock draft of the New England Patriots taking him with the 15th pick overall. And I do still think it's possible, but it'd be interesting where Toney goes. 28, look at team needs for the New Orleans Saints. Quarterback and cornerback. I think they're going to reach Jameis Winston. I think it would be really smart if they did, because I think Winston has potential to be really, really great New Orleans. So I'm going to take Travis Morig here, the safety from TCU. I know it doesn't show the team need, but it actually is. They can use next in the better secondary. Even though this past season they lost Von Bell to the Cincinnati Bengals. So let's see here. At 20 pick overall, the Green Bay Packers, they need a wide receiver. I mean, Devontae Adams had a phenomenal season, but teams are just going to start double teaming him. I mean, Rodgers is not going to be able to throw at anybody, especially, with Aaron Jones potentially, not re-signing Green Bay. So with the 29th pick, I had them taking Terrence Marshall Jr., the wide receiver from LSU. I think that's a phenomenal pick there. And, he's one of the best players available. I think, I know this, these rankings are a little bit different, but probably the best wide receiver available. I think that's a great pick. So number 30, Buffalo Bills. Another one of those players you just don't know where he's going to go. Elijah Vera Tucker. I want to have the Bills taking him there. He could be in the first round. It's not a guarantee he will be, even though I've had him a little bit of a reach at 14 once with the Minnesota Vikings to one of my mock drafts. He can play tackle and guard, and the Bills could use another tackle to help, Josh Allen. It's a really nice pick there. He probably should not be there, and it's another one of those scenarios where you got best player available and team need. I mean, you cannot go wrong ever in those type of situations. And 31st overall by the Kansas City Chiefs. Guard, you really need guard. I mean, can improve that throughout the season, especially in the Super Bowl when Patrick Mahomes was running for his life. So I love this pick here, Wyatt Davis from Ohio State University. Probably the best guard in the draft. That's a fantastic pick there for the Kansas City Chiefs. This pick is really interesting because he needs quarterback. I think that's ridiculous. Defensive line, I mean, I'm going to take a defensive line, but it's just really interesting because you don't know what defensive lineman should they take. I heard about having Jason Owe from Penn State. He has lots of potential. He's not have a sack this past season, but he does have lots of potential. But at the same time, Carlos Basham Jr. from the Forest, I think he is severely and extremely underrated. For the sake of being different, I'm going to go back in the first round. I know some people might think that's a little bit of a reach, but I personally love that pick there. So that was the first round mock draft. I thought this one went, for the most part, every team I thought did pretty good. In my opinion, the winners of this mock draft is 100%. I want to say the Detroit Lions, the Pittsburgh Steelers, and the New York Jets, because the New York Jets got their franchise quarterback and their franchise running back as well. The Detroit Lions, they traded back and got more top draft picks in years to come, and they also got their future wide receiver. While the Steelers traded up to get their franchise quarterback and Trey Lance, the quarterback from North Dakota State. I will go over these picks here one more time. Trevor Lawrence to the Jaguars, Zach Wilson to the Jets, Jamar Chase to the Miami Dolphins, Justin Fields to the Atlanta Falcons, Penei Sewell to the Bengals, Jalen Waddle to the Philadelphia Eagles. There's a trade at 7. That's the big trade in this mock draft, where the Pittsburgh Steelers traded up with the Detroit Lions. The Steelers traded their first-round pick and their second-round pick for this year's draft and next year's draft, and they traded up to get Trey Lance. 8, the Panthers took Micah Parsons. 9, the Denver Broncos took Caleb Farley. 10, the Dallas Cowboys took Patrick Surtain, corner. 11, the Giants took Devontae Smith. 12, the 49ers took tackle Rashawn Slater. 13, the Los Angeles Chargers took Christian Darrisaw, tackle from Virginia Tech. 14, the Vikings take Kwity Paye. 15, probably the steal of the draft. Also, another team that won this mock, in my opinion. 15, the Patriots got Kyle Pitts. 16, the Cardinals take J.C. Horn. 17, the Raiders take Aziz Ojulari. 18, the Dolphins take Najee Harris. 19, Washington takes Matt Jones. 20, Chicago selects wide receiver Rashad Bateman. 21, Gregory Rousseau went to the Colts. 22, Tennessee takes Jalen Phillips. 23, this is a great pick in my opinion. The Jets take running back from Clemson, Travis Etienne. 24 is where the Lions pick with their trade back with the Pittsburgh Steelers, and they took wide receiver Rondale Moore from Purdue. 25, the Jaguars take Christian Barmore. 26, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah goes to the Cleveland Browns. 27, Baltimore takes Kadarius Toney. 28, New Orleans takes Travis Moehrig, the safety from TCU. 29, Green Bay takes wide receiver Terrence Marshall Jr. 30, the Buffalo Bills take Elijah Vera Tucker, the tackle from USC. 31, the Kansas City Chiefs take guard Wyatt Davis from Ohio State University. With the last pick of the first round, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers select edge rusher Carlos Basham Jr. from Wake Forest University. So thank you all so much for watching. If you like this video and subscribe to the channel, I would greatly appreciate it. And I will see you next time on Sports 2 Hunt Show.